My name is Emily. I work for Yukon Extension. I am a 4-H educator and my specialty is environmental literacy. When you are looking at trees, what types of things are you going to be looking at?
Seeds.
Seeds? Yeah, it could be your fruit types.
Yeah.
What else?
Leaves.
Leaves. You could be looking at leaves on the trees. Now, what season are we in?
Autumn.
Are these leaves going to be on the trees for much longer? Not a lot longer.
Yeah.
So we might need to rely on some other features of the plant. What are some other features of the plant?
The
Bark. Yes. What else?
The buds.
The buds. And the buds are by far the most reliable way to identify the tree that you're looking at. This is a packet that I'm starting to work on. This is what I used to use with my students when I was an Envirothon advisor on how to identify trees. The basic intent of this packet is to get you thinking about what trees look like. This is still in progress. These are activities that you can go home with your team and do. There's some QR codes in there to scan if you need some extra resources. But the anatomy part, it's like knowing the basic parts. As we start looking at identifying plants, they're gonna start to get nerdier and nerdier in where they're looking at the plant. So you're gonna need to look at these terms. So in the middle, it starts breaking down the steps that we would take to identify trees. If we are looking at this yellow foliage here up on the hill, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see that plant? In the most basic form, like if your 5-year-old sister said, look it, that's a big tree. Yes. So you just identified that it's a tree. It's not an herbaceous plant like our grass. It's not a shrub with multiple stems. You identified that as a big tree. Let's get a little bit more specific. What else do you notice about that tree? Okay, so large rough bark tree. What if you're never ever decided to look at the bark on a tree before?
It's tall.
It's tall. What else? Keep going. All of these things are accurate and right.
It had many branches.
It does have many branches. Is that pretty much all we could tell from this distance?
Yeah.
So these books, these are called tree finders. They're about $6 on Amazon and I highly recommend them because they're simple. If we look at this page here with a whole list of features, we're looking first at the category that says plant type. So what plant type is this? We've already determined that it's a tree, right? So is it a deciduous or coniferous? Does it have needles or does it have flat leaves?
Flat leaves.
Has flat leaves. If we look at the tree finder in the green book, and go to page 5, it has my favorite directions in the entire world. Okay, can somebody read question number 1 for me? Avoid freaks is my favorite statement. Who puts that in a book, especially a science book, right? So why is it saying avoid freaks in relation to trees? And that happened here today, right? We were looking at these beech trees. We were using the key to identify it. And the beech trees are under severe stress right now due to beech leaf disease. And the leaf didn't really look like it should, didn't look like what the book is gonna try to tell you it looks like, right? So just be aware of that. If you're having some trouble identifying it, it might be because it's not actually in the book. It might be a genetic mutation. All right, so we've decided that this has broad leaves, right? It has leaves and not needles. Okay, so if we're now gonna go to page 5, this book is called a dichotomous key. Who's used a dichotomous key before?
Oh, biology.
Biology, right? That's one of the actual worlds that people use dichotomous keys in still. Who's read a choose your own adventure book? Yeah, it's like, do you want to go skydiving off the cliff? You don't have to be ashamed of it. You can say it proudly. Or do you want to swim into the cave and find the shark, right? And so like one path takes you one way, the other path takes you another. So this is how this book reads. You have to choose what path you want to take. So you're going to go to page 14 because if the tree has leaves, start with this symbol. So he has the symbol of the tree. And pro tip, write down your path on a piece of paper as you go through this. That way, if you get lost halfway through, you can trace back your steps to see where you went wrong. So I'm going to write, it's leaves 14. If the leaves or buds grow opposite like this, so we're looking at opposite or alternate. So this is when we look specifically at the branching. In our packet, it has an example of alternate branching. and opposite branching. If I were to stick my arms out to the side, I would be an opposite branched tree. But if we're looking at these branches here, straight on, do you see that? This is our main branch, and then we have one lateral branch coming this way. We've got another one on that side, another one on this side. So looking at this tree, is this an opposite or alternate branch tree? This is an alternate branch tree. So let's turn around and let's do the plant that's next to you. So this one that has, it's opposite. Okay, so if we are on our dichotomous key, where are we going next? Go below. And see how it has the picture, and then you have to reference the next picture. Okay, so what are our options there? Can somebody read them, please? And I had a gray sample here. I just dropped it. So a compound leaf, again, if we go back to our packet, a compound leaf is going to be a leaf that has leaflets associated with it. So this is a simple leaf, okay? If we were to pick this leaf off and we looked at the twig, it's going to leave a leaf scar. And if we used a hand lens or a microscope, we could see that there's little bundle scars in there where the tissues are connected. So we have a leaf scar. This means that this is a simple leaf. If we had a compound leaf, if we pulled the leaflet off, like one of these, this is a compound leaf. So if we pulled off one of those leaflets, it wouldn't be leaving the leaf scar like that. Pull a leaf off, what do we think? Does that tree behind you, does it have a leaf scar? Is it compound or simple? It's a simple leaf. Okay, so back in our book, we see that that is a simple leaf. So where are we gonna go? So page 18 to the simple leaf picture. All right, so it's that first option up top. So this is when we might want to look in the beginning of that packet again and find out the anatomy of the leaf. Okay, so we can see we have a midrib here, and this is a simple leaf. It's not lobed. Okay, so what we're trying to figure out now is if it has 3 to 7 main veins. So everybody should be taking a leaf, checking it out, and then look at, you usually want to find the leaves on the tree, but I know it's that one, so I'll give it to you off the ground. My trick, look at the back. You can see those main veins a little bit easier. So how many veins? How many main veins? 3, right? And those generally form our lobes. Okay, so looking back at your book, go below. All right, so now we're in maples. Guys, you just identified this tree as a maple. So now that's the genus, right? That's the group of maples. So let's find out even more. So is this a V or is this a U? It's a V shape. Okay, all right, we're going below. What are our options there? Again, this is why we want to write it down so that when we go, well, this doesn't fit right, we can look back.
How many lobes does this leaf have? 3. Let's go on to page 19. Don't forget to record your place.
So is the leaf surface rough or is it smooth? Feel it. It's smooth, and this is where you're gonna start feeling leaves, okay? Because that's how you'll know what is rough and what is actually rough. While we might think this is smooth or rough compared to certain things, it's actually really, really smooth. So we have a smooth. So what are we looking at here? A red maple, right. The thing to keep in mind is that a lot of tree species, they hybridize. And this guy is an example of one who could hybridize with a silver maple, might have more of a silver backing on it. So some of these things, as much as we want to say everything is easy to identify, it's not, right? We could have differences. So do the best you can. I highly recommend going through this worksheet and using a dichotomous key to kind of get the basics and start learning about the different names of the parts of the plant. And then to make sure you actually got what you think you got, use iNaturalist. Have you seen that? Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's a nice little app that you can take a picture of the different parts of the plant, and it will crowdsource, and people will tell you what it is. So that's a nice little way I like to create my life list of plants. Okay. So there's about 3 minutes left. I know that's a lot of information in a very short amount of time, but now you know where you need to start to work, right? To prepare to identify plants. It could be any of those things. The nice thing is you're working as a team, right? So they might have a leaf there and they might say, is this a compound leaf? They could have you identify using a dichotomous key and try to identify that. It's very much a team group activity. So spread out if one of you really does well with trees, then spread out the content a little bit.